As you may or may not know, Sserafim recently came back with Crazy, the title track for their new EP with the same name, and I need to talk about it so badly. I'm going to say this right now, but if you want a serious, nuanced review of this song that isn't someone just overhyping it, I would just click off the video now, because this is going to be the exact opposite of that. Crazy was pretty highly anticipated for me. Ever since they dropped the snippet in the mini preview, I knew there was no universe where I was going to have a neurotypical reaction to its full release. And yeah, I was absolutely right about that. I do not want to talk about how many times I've listened to this song within the first couple of days of it being released, but also it was their first comeback after all the shit they dealt with during the last one. For those of you who aren't aware, they basically were heavily criticized for having not the best vocals during an encore stage. Although this criticism wasn't necessarily unwarranted, it got blown way out of proportion and turned into a giant hate train. I was so interested to see what this release was going to look like, because if they didn't hit it out of the park, it was going to get a whole lot worse. And to me, they absolutely delivered. As someone who actually did enjoy both Unforgiven and Easy, Crazy is the first time where I thought a Sserafim track has had the potential to outbeat Antifragile for the best title track spot. Now, obviously music is subjective and I am extremely biased, but it is so fucking fun. Crazy is such a perfect name for this song because it does in fact make me feel deranged. The first day it dropped, I could not stop losing my mind and giggling about how much I loved it. It absolutely serves. I can't say what it is serving because I'm afraid YouTube will get mad at me, but I think you know. Genuinely, at some point, I was sitting at my desk with my head in my arm while banging my fist against the table because I was like, God, this is so good. Not to be even more dramatic, but I felt like a caged animal that was shaking and biting the bars of my enclosure. If Crazy has 0 fans, it is because I have perished. Since then, I have definitely calmed down, but it still makes me feel like the coolest and most attractive person on the planet. I love how a lot of the lyrics are kind of unserious and campy, but then there's also ones like Chaewon's second rap part. I'm sorry, but we know we will go blind, but we still give the sun a kiss is an insane line. Also, Pikachu mention, which if you really think about it, means the song was made for me. Additionally, I adore the music video. First off, the choreography looks so fun to do. I can definitely see myself trying to learn this one, even though I'm not a dancer. Second of all, the overall chaotic nature of it is absolutely perfect. I love the scenes where they're in the aquarium with the lampshade people. Not to be a dork, but everything being mostly blue with the pops of the orangey hue from the lights is very pleasant. I love color theory. Also, obsessed with the scene where Yeonjun drops the soap and Eunchae slips on it but falls into that pose. Yeah, she killed it. Something else I like about Crazy that I think I might be making up is that the instrumental reminds me so much of video game music, especially in the chorus. Specifically, the one that comes to mind is Mario Kart, but I can't place any songs that sound like this in the soundtrack, so I don't know. If anyone hears it, please let me know so I don't feel like I'm insane. I've seen, the reception of Crazy seems to be mostly positive, but there have, of course, also been a lot of mixed reviews as well. People are allowed to not like it, obviously, but I've definitely seen quite a few people who just feel like they still haven't gotten over the vocal thing. Specifically, I've seen a few people be like, oh, so they're just not singing now? Which, like, if you don't want them to sing, but then you also don't want them to not sing, what do you want from them then? I've also seen people complaining about the rap parts, which I guess I kind of understand that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really qualified to say what a good rap sounds like, but I personally really like the rap parts in Crazy. The cadence that they use makes me think of when there's rap parts in Vocaloid songs sometimes. It just kind of feels more sing-songy, if that makes any sense. By far though, my favorite hate comment I've seen is someone saying this song sounds the same as Easy. Which I really hope that person was trolling, because Buster, what do you mean by that? Anyway, I just feel like after this, I will no longer be listening to people genuinely hating on Sserafim. If Crazy wasn't enough to redeem them for you, then I fear there isn't anything that will. I'm mostly joking, I don't really care. It is a bit funny seeing people take this comeback way too seriously and then being hypercritical about it though. Overall, I really like this mini, and I think it was an excellent step in the right direction. I did mostly talk about Crazy, but I do want to quickly go over the B-sides. PRL is my favorite one. I liked it a lot when I first listened to it, but it grew on me a lot since then. Like, now I'm singing That's My Girl with my whole chest. I already knew I was going to like 1-800 Hot and Fun since I heard it when I was watching their Coachella set. I do think it is a little bit funny that they were allowed to say shit but not hell. The use of heck does feel intentional, but every time I listen to this song, I instinctually say where the hell is Saki, even though that's not correct. And finally, I really like Crazier, which isn't super surprising since I like a lot of Sserafim's slower songs and also enjoy Hyunjin's writing a lot. It doesn't throw me off that much, but it does feel like there should have been a transition song between Hot and Fun and Crazier, because the sudden ballad is a bit surprising at first, but yeah, a very good comeback. Crazy as a title track expresses the idea of being yourself in a way that is loud and hard for others to understand. So I think it's very fitting that I've latched on to this song specifically. It presents this idea in a way that's really exciting, and even though it doesn't take itself super seriously, it's still done in an earnest way. I know that statement kind of contradicts itself, but it makes sense to me. Anyway, that about sums up my final thoughts. When I become hyperfixated on something, I want to hear as many people talk about it as possible, so I would love to hear what you guys thought about this. I really hope this video fully encapsulates how frenzied this song makes me feel, and I hope you enjoyed it. My final statement I have for you is act like an angel and dress like crazy. Thank you for watching.